it's day one, let me solve this problem on day one, because I know that there will be 100 million people on my platform. So build something which will scale up to 100 million people. And that is where many entrepreneurs fail. They actually start building for the future. You have to build for the future, and at the same time you don't have to think too much about it. So this is the dichotomy of entrepreneurship. We are not building karma circles for today's users. We are building karma circles for 2018, 2019 users, wherein people would want to give advice to each other across countries. That's why we have built this time zone conversion in our, like if you actually schedule time with somebody in US and that person schedules time in the US time zone, you do it in Indian time zone. But at the same time, you should not be going ahead of yourself. Like a lot of people are saying that, why don't you have a video platform within your own app? And we are like, why would we want that? 2 years back when we started, we thought Google Hangouts will be the way for people to connect with each other. So one of the 4 options of meetings was Google Hangout. 3 months back, we thought that WhatsApp calling works like magic. It actually gives people the comfort as well, because you don't need to actually see each other and stuff like that. You can do voice calls from your phone and stuff. So we pulled out Google Hangout. WhatsApp is in. Skype is doing fine. Maybe tomorrow something else comes. We will take out Skype and we'll bring that in. Why do we need to build our own video platform when there are others who are doing it for us?
And what if another person gets a lot of funding and he just burns that money to get more users than you? And because I don't know how difficult it would be to actually copy the product.
It will be very difficult. It will be very difficult. In fact, they could, and I'll tell you how you think about copying the product thing. When you are building something wherein you understand your customers intimately, then nobody can come and copy your understanding of customers. Nobody can understand your product understanding. Nobody can understand what you have learned during the journey. So they might be able to replicate the entire product, but they will not be able to replicate the customer understanding. Like, they will be able to see that, okay, there was a reason why we didn't do the deep integration with Google Hangout or deep integration with Skype. They will just see that they have this option, and somebody who is copying you, and more power to them if they have the funding, because I would really want competition which has funding. Because then they will actually do things which are not really required, and they will screw up the entire experience. Because that is something, and when I talk about lean startup, I talk about 3 things. Think of lean product, think of lean funding, and think of lean teams. And these 3 are correlated. If one of you thinks that, oh, I can have a lean team and I can have a lean product, but I can go and raise $50 million, which is not lean funding, you will run into problems wherein the other 2 parts cannot be lean. Because what will happen is that when you go and raise a $50 million round, investors will say, go increase your team. You will have to hire people. If you have to hire people, you will have to give them some work, which means the product will not be lean anymore. And if you see the classic example of lean funding, lean team, lean product is WhatsApp. And we derive a lot of inspiration from WhatsApp. And you will see the product is uncannily similar to WhatsApp. Like, we draw a lot of inspiration from them. Because they have kept the product very, very simple. It just does for a couple of things and nothing beyond that. But whatever it does, and there were multiple companies around that time which started with the WhatsApp idea, raised hundreds of millions of dollars, and because of that they kept on adding features after features after features, and they could not scale up, and some of them are not alive today. Or they are still surviving on funders' money.
But nowadays what's happening is, so Flipkart introduced cash on delivery, so Amazon could easily copy that. And so what do you think about that? So innovation.
So actually that is great. That is actually great because I actually believe, and I'm like very new to India. It has been just 1 year in India. I will tell you, cash on delivery is a very, very bad idea. It's like really bad idea. Like, let me say it again, it's very bad idea, it should not have been done. And the reason was, and it actually has screwed up the taxi ecosystem also. If all of these companies had actually said that we will take time to build something which actually is scalable by technology versus scalable by introducing new options of payments. And they didn't think through it. They were like, we have the money, we can afford this feature, so build it. If they didn't have the money, they would not have created this feature. And I was reading about, does anybody know what's happening with Uber and Ola in Bangalore? They have come together, all the drivers, and they are going on an indefinite strike. Because the fundamental hypothesis of Uber and Ola was, we will actually start giving rides to Deepak for 50 rupees when he is paying, so does anybody remember what was there before Uber? You probably don't know, but Meru, which was like 4 times more expensive. Meru, but you may not know, Meru was very profitable when there was no Uber and there was no Ola. They were actually profitable. They were doing well, all the drivers were very happy, and the customer was not sad. When I was in India in 2012, for every single trip I used Meru and I was like, great. But these people came in the name of disruption in the ecosystem. They actually screwed up the entire business. What they did was, they actually said that there is this driver who makes 15,000 a month. We will make him earn 1 lakh a month. Okay? When it is not even possible that this guy can profitably make 1 lakh a month. But we have to create an ecosystem. So if we go from 15 to 30, this guy may not be interested. If we go from 15,000 rupees a month to 1 lakh a month, this guy will jump over. Like, he will buy a cab tomorrow and he will actually come and join the Uber or Ola bandwagon. On the other side, they looked at Deepak and they were like, oh, Deepak actually hates the fact that he has to pay 200 rupees to Meru. And now he has to pay only 50 rupees. And they were thinking that very soon these drivers will get addicted to us, and these drivers will actually start thinking logically that I used to make 15,000, Ola started giving me 1 lakh. Even if I make 30 to 40, maybe 50 a month, I'm still okay.
But that doesn't happen once you give someone.
But that doesn't happen with humans. Same with Deepak. Deepak was happily paying 200 rupees to Meru. Now all of a sudden, Ola comes in, Uber comes in, 50 rupees. I'm glad, I'm coming here, I'm moving. But then I'm very upset when they make me pay 60. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm so used to paying 50. Why are you asking me 60 now? So they actually, I think they, because they are profitable in US and all those things, they can afford to do these experiments in third world countries, and it's okay, $1 billion here or there. It's fine. That's the kind of mistake that Uber can afford to make in India. But interestingly, Amazon, if you look at it, Amazon has been doing TV ads. Amazon has been doing cash on delivery in India. They never did that in US. And I will tell you that, so they never did TV ads in US. They never did cash on delivery in US. And the reason why they waited, Amazon India office, you probably guys know, Sachin Bansal and Vinny Bansal, they were working for Amazon India before they actually started Flipkart. So Amazon had roots in India. In fact, Amazon used to come to ITW. One of my friends, he joined Amazon right after ITW, and he works for the Seattle office. And so Amazon could have started, and if you look at the top management in Amazon, plenty of Indians in India. But they were like, no, it's fine. Let the market grow. We have plenty of things to do in US. Let's build technology muscle. When the time is right. So they kept on watching the Indian e-commerce ecosystem for almost 6-7 years. Flipkart is 2008, 2007 time frame. 2007 time frame. Amazon started doing stuff in 2013. And they were big in 2007 also. But they were like, no, let the market mature, let people get used to the idea of e-commerce, and then we will come and take the cake. So I think that the way you think that in fact, if Flipkart was smart, Flipkart should have introduced the idea of cash on delivery, and then they should have taken it back, and they should have said, please waste your money and go do that.
But Amazon has money to waste.
Sorry?
But Amazon does have money to waste. It's like,
yeah, Amazon can afford those things.
Yeah.
Amazon can afford those things. They have plenty of money. They are doing well in US and all those things, and they have a lot of backing. Their stock is doing well, but not everybody else can do that. So I think one of the things that they forgot was that, and this is what happened in the airline industry in US as well. In early 80s, when the airline industry got deregulated, they said that, okay, you know what? I will start an airline and I will get into this discounting game. And I have my airline, Sakshi has her airline, and I will bleed her. I will bleed her so much, and I have more money, so I can bleed more than you. And then more people came, and then new people came into the picture. I can bleed more than you. I will keep on bleeding till you guys die. And for almost 20 years, till 2001 happened, all airlines except Southwest and JetBlue were bleeding, like every one of them. And they were like, we have put in so much money, our investors don't want to, so they kept on putting on good money after bad money, good money after bad money, good money after bad money. And in 2001, many of them actually said, okay, you know what, it's enough, we have to leave this thing, we cannot bleed forever. So I think, I was reading today morning that now Flipkart is being valued at around $5 billion. It's a matter of time that it will actually be like, a couple of $1 billion, or maybe nobody will even want to buy it. Questions? Otherwise, I want to go into the framework that you should use for ideas.
But cash on delivery increase the customer count as according to psychology of India. They will they don't want to pay in advance. So how can you say that cash on delivery is bad idea?
I mean, not everyone has the bucket on account or credit card, debit card.
So that is the thing. That is the thing. So I will give you the example of this gentleman. So I use Uberpool most of the times whenever I'm not in a hurry. There is this gentleman who is actually looking at, he's calling the Uber guy, and it's in a very, very convoluted road. It's like navigation देख के आ जाओ. Okay? Now, it takes around 8 to 10 minutes for someone like me, who is in pool, to help the driver get to that person's house. And he could have walked for literally 30 meters. And he could have saved us 15 minutes. Okay? Now, he is a clerk in some hospital. He takes me inside that hospital, and he again has to walk for around 15 meters or 20 meters. This is like entrance of RML. And he is like, मुझे तो गेट क्यों करना है? Wasted around 20 to 25 minutes of mine, and on top of that, then he pulls out his cash. तो उसके छूटों की टेंशन होती है. Are you building the company for people like me who can afford a taxi service, or you are building it as a non-profit wherein you are like, no, this gentleman should get the taxi experience. If you are building a non-profit, more power to you. If you are building a for-profit company, that is not how you should do it. I think that there should be some non-profit which actually does this. Like, oh yeah, you are in this convoluted area, I will come all the way to your home every day, and I will take you to your office, and by the way, I will probably try to even, take you in a wheelchair and put you in your office. I will want to give that comfort, but am I building a business? So, what's the hurry? Why is it that Amazon has to be in India in 2008? Right? Introduce the concept where it works. So at India Homes, we did that mistake. At India Homes, we were in metros initially. Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, Bangalore. Kolkata was actually not very profitable because that market was not very sound. But then the CEO went out, raised funding, and said we will be in 50 cities. And the company shut down their doors last year after wasting almost $40 million of investors' money. So, are you creating value? Are you creating something which is sustainable? Or you are trying to change behavior by giving them money? Versus, so if you think about, interestingly, I'll give you another example wherein there are certain times you have to do that. 2005, Google goes out to buy YouTube for almost $1.65 billion. And at that time, Microsoft was trying to acquire them. There were other players in the ecosystem who were trying to acquire them. And they were trying to buy them for somewhere between $50 to $100 million. All of a sudden, Google jumps on YouTube, buys them for $1.65 billion. And people are like, what? What is this? And Google saw something which the world didn't see. Google saw that the videos are going to come to this world in a very big way. And they could not afford to let go of YouTube. If you are doing something like that, wherein it's like a truly innovation, that is fine. But if you actually say that, like I can tell another acquisition by Microsoft, which is again a bad idea of going back in time versus going in future. Apple ecosystem came, everybody said smartphones are the world and this and that. Microsoft didn't have a fancy phone. And Microsoft goes out and buys this company called Danger. This was like 2007, 2008 time frame. And I'm like, that's like so stupid. So I'll tell you what Danger did. What Danger did was, many of these websites are not mobile friendly in 2007, 2008 time frame. Now every website is mobile friendly, but in 2007, 2007-2008 time frame, they were, sorry, the company started I think around 2002, this Danger. So they said that all these websites are not mobile friendly. We will consume the website like www.yahoo.com and we will make it mobile friendly on the go, so the client will have that. So they had this product called Sidekick, which had an amazing community of around 2 million people, and they had a fancy keyboard wherein you could type as fast as the BlackBerry and stuff, and you could see these mobile websites in a very fancy way. It would have been a great acquisition in 2002-2003 time. Now you go and acquire that company in 2007-2008 to compete with Apple for almost $1 billion. Dude, every company had an m.yahoo.com by that time. HTML5 was about to come. People were working on it. It had not come completely, but responsive web was on its way. M.thing was on its way. People were realizing that, okay, mobile friendly websites have to come. So that was going back in time. So cash on delivery is going back on time. Yeah, people used to give cash. So you don't go back and you say that it is innovation. So I actually do not know how many people actually call it innovation. I don't agree it is an innovation.
It's a behavior change. You're trying to change the behavior. And Amazon can afford it, but Flipkart is doing it because they have lots of money.
No, I think and in fact I believe that even in Uber, one way to figure out who is your good customer and your bad customer, just say that we won't serve actually anybody who does not have cash or who has cash. Like, you have a smartphone, right? We have been around for 3 years, we have not run away with your money, and you still can't trust us with your money? Maybe if you do that for 6 months to get the first experience, maybe on your first trip we'll allow cash. Maybe on your first 3 trips we'll allow you cash. So this is again like bad thinking.
Basically, I think right now customer is the most, but by that the driver will become more powerful than that.
No. You made customer the boss. Somebody at Uber made the decision, right? We will not allow bookings through the web. What was he thinking?
Even Flipkart also actually both they tried. They shifted from that also.
Yeah. And I think that was again a very bad idea.
So similarly, cash on delivery also, Amazon can afford because they are doing innovation in America. They have money, but Flipkart, where is the innovation they are doing? They are not doing much.
Yeah, but so this is a good question.
Like
So the app only strategy thing, why it backfired for Flipkart? The reason why it backfired for Flipkart was their desktop website is extremely complicated. Okay? If you remove the website, the way they removed it, it actually, and when they did it for Myntra, they actually removed it from search engines also. So interestingly, we have a website as well. But when you look at our website, it is designed in a way that it should be consumed on mobile phone. And you'll be like, yeah, Deepak, aapki website badi naked si lagti hai. Because it is, we know the future is mobile phones. So right from day one, we designed it in a way that it looks nice on a mobile phone. And we know that search engines are not going away anytime soon. So we need a website wherein when people search for your name, they want to see how helpful you are. Your Karma Circles profile link should come. So that is why we need the web. But at the same time, we know that web will be consumed more and more on mobile phones. So it should not look cluttered when you are actually viewing it on a mobile phone. So that is what Flipkart should have done. Like redesign the entire website. LinkedIn has done that. Facebook has done that. Yeah. No, they don't think like that. Yeah. So I think I do want to cover the 4-step framework that I have. So the first thing is, when you are at an idea stage, you don't really know. When you are at an idea stage, is this water for me?
Yes.
Thank you. So when you are at an idea stage, the first question you have to ask is, what is the problem you're trying to solve? Okay, that's an easy one. So Sakshi comes up with an idea today and Sakshi says that, Deepak, I want to build a business plan, how do I go about it? So I'm telling Sakshi, I'm saying, Sakshi, write down on a piece of paper, what is the problem you're trying to solve? So the first, if you were to create a PowerPoint slide, the first question she'll answer is, what problem am I trying to solve? Then I will ask her to answer a second question, which is, how is the problem being solved today? If she comes and tells me, Deepak, ये problem आज के दिन कोई solve नहीं करना, I'll be like, find a better problem. Don't work on this problem. Because if you are solving something which is not getting solved today, then it is not worth working on for some reason. It must be getting solved if it was worth solving. Maybe in a really bad way. If I want to be here and I am in Dehradun and I'm coming here, maybe I am actually not getting a Uber from Dehradun to Delhi. But the problem is getting solved. I will take an Uber, or I will take an auto or a Vikram and go to the train station or the bus stand. I will come to Delhi, I will take a city bus or something, then I'll come here. The problem is getting solved moving from point A to point B. Okay, so the second thing is I list out all the alternatives or the solutions that exist for the problem today, no matter how bad they are. Like, if you are building Evernote, how many of you have heard of or used Evernote? It's a mobile app which allows you to take notes. So the competitor to Evernote will be like, post-it notes also, or like the notebook also, which is one way to solve the problem. The third thing is, what is your solution and how is it superior to anything out there right now? Okay? If I am building an e-commerce platform, how is it superior to anything out there right now? Flipkart, Myntra, I'll have to take all of them. And I have to say, what I am building is superior. The fourth question that you have to answer for yourself is my solution significantly superior to the existing solutions out there that people will change their behavior? Okay? Is Karma Circles superior to LinkedIn, that people will stop asking for help on LinkedIn and come to Karma Circles to ask for help? That is the question I have to answer for myself if I am building it. And then, the fifth and sixth question are not very critical. This slide is there on my SlideShare, slideshare.net/dgoyal, you can look at that. Why am I the right person to solve this problem? What is it that I know about this market that nobody else knows? And the sixth question is, how am I going to go there, and my team, and how much money do I need in the journey and stuff. So I think from your perspective, if you are at the idea stage, you look at first 4 questions primarily. The second thing that you do is, and which we did at Karma Circles, was we didn't just go and start writing code. And this is where D-Venture is actually a great platform, because you can do these exercises while you are going through D-Venture. And when you get the money, you can quickly jump and start the company. What I did was, I actually created this 6-slide presentation and met 50 potential customers of Karma Circles one-on-one. I told them, I think this is the problem. Would you agree? They will say yes. I think this is the way you are solving it. Would you agree? They said yes. This is my solution. Do you think it is superior to this one? Yes. Is this superior enough that you will start using mine and stop using theirs? When 80 to 90% of your potential customers say, yes, I agree with all four of you, all four of these questions, that is when you go to the next step. So you have to do it with almost 50 people, 60 people, 100 people. One-on-one. Don't do focus groups. Don't do it with your friends. Do it with people who will use your product. Once you have done that, create a prototype. For a hardware thing, it will be a prototype. For an online product, it will be like wireframes, mock-ups. In our case, we created mock-ups. Like, ऐसा आपका लॉगिन वाला स्क्रीन होगा, ऐसा आपका प्रोफाइल पेज बनेगा, ऐसा आपका थैंक यू नोट लगेगा, ऐसे आप मीटिंग शेड्यूल करोगे, right? Then you go back to 50 to 60 potential customers again. Go through the same exercise. I think this is the problem. I think this is the way you are solving it. This is my solution. Will you change your behavior? If they say yes, then you start showing them your mock-ups. अच्छा, आपके दिमाग में जब आप सोच रहे थे, आपके दिमाग में ऐसी फोटो बन रही थी रजिस्ट्रेशन वाली, आप ऐसे सोच रहे थे, ऐसे थैंक यू नोट्स होंगे. Again, when 80 to 90% people say, yeah, this is exactly what I wanted, that is when you write the first line of code and you go build a project. Even when you do these things, you will not create a beautiful product. But this will take you closer to a beautiful product. Because a lot of scenarios will not be covered when you are just asking people. When people start using it, like, you know, what's your name? Sorry? Saksham. I had not thought that people will start asking for sponsorships on Canvas. I was building an advice giving platform. Maybe I will not even figure that out during my journey of the step that I told you. But when the platform comes into play, I have to look at these things also. And that is when I incorporate these things. And if I have to be the next Facebook or next LinkedIn, this journey will go on for a decade. And even today, like, you know, people are frustrated with LinkedIn, people are frustrated with like some of the things that, like, why is it that there are so many people connecting with me, why is it that there are so many people sending me requests, how do I deal with that? You know, especially after the acquisition, there has been no innovation that has come out from LinkedIn. So this is the framework that you could use when you are thinking about your idea. Did we want to take specific ideas and maybe want me to help?
And what if LinkedIn doesn't allow you to work on top of their network?
So that's why we are using Facebook as well.
So guys, if you have any specific question related to your ideas, so you can have, we can take another 2 or 3 questions, then we can close it.
So it did answer my question. I'm still confused about my query.
Okay.
That if I have a great idea and I have a vision of how to implement it, but I don't have the skills to build it right now, or the skills to design it. So how am I going to move with it?
So I'll tell you that typically those ideas are not very useful. So I have an idea that there should be an app that when I enter this room, I should be able to read your brains and I should be able to know what you want to listen. Now, it's a great idea, but it's a useless idea.
So what I meant was that I, as a person, don't have that skills, but maybe someone else would be having to develop it.
So there is somebody in this world who can build this product. There is somebody in Valley who is working on artificial intelligence who can build this product. Sorry?
They might be building.
Yeah, there might be somebody who's building it, but I will not be able to execute it. If you are not even able to do the first 4 steps with that idea, I will tell you that Packback was started by 2 people who have never built a technology company. one of them was a graduate in marketing, one of them was a graduate in finance, or I think finance, graduate in marketing and finance. And e-commerce is like, and Backpack is completely pure technology play. They started with an idea. They started working towards it. They started meeting people. They started learning those skills. They didn't look for me on day one. So the journey that I'm telling you, and we were talking about give and take. So interestingly, while I was actually doing this research about karma circles, a lot of people told me, you gotta read this book. Because what you are, that what you are doing in karma circles, it has a lot of similarity what Adam Grant talks about in give and take. If I had thought that, okay, I want to build this give and take platform, I don't know technology, or I don't have any research. I didn't have the research, but I had done something in my life which allowed me to create something. If you have an idea, you should be at least be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4 questions for them. The question that I just told you. And you go and start speaking to people, I promise you, there will be people who will tell you, oh, you should talk to this person for help. You should talk to this person for help. There is an app which does something similar. So it is not like, I have an idea, I will give you this idea, you go and build it, now please give me royalty. That never works.
That idea is good, and plus like in media, like you have if anyone tells you that idea, what is the probability that you will not you will not jump into that?
Great question. Anybody else? I think
Like
this is very important. This is very important for all Indians to listen to.
like NDA is there before FPA mentioned.
Great
Like
question.
venture also, they also need to sign something like
Yeah, great question. Who else has this question? That ideas can be stolen. I'm asking a very simple question. Just raise your hand if you think ideas can be stolen. Great. How many ideas have been stolen so far?
Like they were searching before Google also. Yeah. And there were social networks before Facebook also.
They are not stolen, they are improved. Stolen is different thing. Like
No, somebody who's like very upset that this was my idea and it got stolen. I want to know, where are those 5-6 people in this entire world? Tell me. Can you name those 5-6 people for me? Or because according to you, because so many people think that it happens, there should be 5-6 million of them. But I'm saying there are only 5 or 6 people. Can somebody name those people for me?
Tyler Winklevoss.
Sorry?
Tyler Winklevoss.
Say it again.
Tyler Winklevoss.
Who is this person?
The person who originally thought about building Facebook with Mark Zuckerberg as an intern. And then we know the rest is history.
Okay.
Steve Jobs was very upset with the gentleman of Microsoft and he was
Okay. Steve Jobs.
font thing copying from Apple.
Okay.
So the many things happen. I'm asking you what is the probability and how can we judge the
So I will tell you that
How can you return without risk?
so I'll tell you that in Valley, no VC or a mentor or investor or an advisor like me will ever sign an NDA. Ever. NDA, non-disclosure agreement. I'll tell you one more thing. I challenge you all. I will tell you my entire research of karma circles. Entire research. I will even tell you how I'm going to execute it. No, I'm not talking about idea. I'm talking about like 4-day long workshops. I'm talking about 4-day long workshop. We'll start at 9 in the morning. I'll go until 5. I will tell you my entire decade long research that I've done.
But why if like you are having this, Google is having so many sources, but it is not giving out that particular algorithm which they are using. They are not open sourcing it. Facebook also has some particular thing they are not giving that thing. बाकी सब ले लो, वो जो चीज है ना वो मत लो, वो नहीं वो.
How do you know that?
They in their books and in articles they have published that. Apple is doing the same.
I will tell you.
They are not.
I will tell you. There is this concept of 1 year NDAs. Sorry, 1 year non-compete agreements in all big companies in US. Okay. So if you are working for a big company in US and you are at VP level or higher or a senior director or somebody, you cannot, like when I left India Homes, I was not allowed to work for another real estate company for 1 full year. Okay? 1 year non-compete is required for everybody who is at high level. Do you know when Marissa Mayer joined Yahoo on Monday, where was she working when she was on Friday? She was working for Google. यार ये तो कमाल हो गया, 2 days non-compete. Saturday, Sunday छुट्टी और Monday आप जाके हमारे सबसे बड़े कॉम्पिटिटर का जुड़ जाते हैं. How could that happen? On paper they have these things. But I'll tell you what happens inside Google. On paper बहुत कुछ होता है. On paper वो बोलते हैं कि किसी को बताओ मत कि मैं किस प्रोडक्ट पे काम कर रहा हूँ. No, there is no algorithm here. There is no algorithm. There is no one particular thing. There are like 100 million lines of code. आप कहाँ से क्या चुनाओगे आप?
पूरा उसके out.
So what they were worried about when they pulled out of China was not that the idea was getting stolen. It was like somebody is coming into Karma Circle and taking the entire code. That is not idea being stolen. That is like taking away my house. It is not like कि किसी ने गाड़ी में देख लिया कि इंटीरियर कैसे हुआ. It is like they're taking my house. या मेरी गाड़ी लेके जा रहे हैं. So that is a different thing. That is like a stealing. That. But idea में क्या है यार? Idea में क्या है? तुम जाके कितनी बार internally जाके Google वालों से they don't do that with everybody, but they do it for different reasons. They don't do it because कोई चुरा लेगा. But they do it just because it creates a charisma. जब यार पता नहीं क्या करते हैं ये लोग अंदर. It is not for the actual stealing part.
So they say it might be misused.
वो सब this is all havabaji. This is all havabaji. Like I'll tell you, Google में जब आप एंट्री करते हो ना उनके उसके अंदर कैंपस के अंदर, they will make you sign an NDA. Can you believe it? Like no company in US probably other than Google does this. That whatever you see while you are on campus, you will have to keep that confidential and you have to sign an NDA. Ask Google how many times they have enforced it. Cool है यार ये, this is cool. ये बेवकूफ बनाने के तरीके हैं. कि मतलब यार कमाल है यार, Google में इतना शानदार काम होता है यार, NDA से काम. So what I'm saying is, people think ideas get stolen. And coming to your point, Amit, I don't know the gentleman you are talking about. I have never heard that name. So maybe उस बेचारे का बहुत ही बुरा हाल हुआ होगा, कहीं उसका छोटा सा 1 मिनट का आइडिया होगा जिसके ऊपर किसी ने पेटेंट ले लिया होगा. But to answer your question about Steve Jobs, I'll tell you that the idea of mouse was actually invented by SRI, Stanford Research International. It was Stanford Research International ने करा and they were like हमें नहीं पता हमने क्या बना दिया. And I'll tell you what they did. All they did was कि आप यहाँ पर एक बॉल आपके हाथ में है, माउस टाइप, उसको यूं यूं हिलाते हो और सामने टीवी है, उस पर विजुअल कुछ हिल रहा है. रिसर्चर ने जो बनाया था उसने पहले ये बनाया था. एंड पीपल वर लाइक ये क्या बना दिया तुमने, ये यहाँ चलता है तो वहाँ भी चलता है. जब मैं इसको यहाँ करता हूँ तो ये राइट में चलाया था, जब मैं इसको लेफ्ट करता हूँ कहते हैं ये क्या चीज़ है ये, व्हाट इज दिस. स्टैनफोर्ड रिसर्च इंटरनेशनल से वो आया, Xerox PARC, Palo Alto Research Center, which is again a big research center in Valley. उन्होंने भी देखा यार चीज तो अच्छी से लग रही है, बढ़िया से लग रही है, पता नहीं क्या चीज है ये. फिर ये चीज देखी स्टीव जॉब्स ने. स्टीव जॉब्स ने दिस इज इंटरेस्टिंग. मैं ना ऐसा UI वाला ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम बनाऊंगा जिससे आप ये काम कर सकते हैं. It was just an idea. Now Bill Gates used to visit his campus. Yeah, this is from the movie Pirates of Silicon Valley. So, this is not because I used to work at Microsoft, so I don't know anything. But from the movie Pirates of Silicon Valley, this guy used to visit Apple campus every now and then. And Bill Gates was somebody. His magic was not that he copied Steve Jobs. His magic was he figured that this guy is going to be Steve Jobs. No one was listening to Steve Jobs at that time. So there was somebody who had the intellect to say, यार ये बंदा Steve Jobs है यार, ये बनाएगा वो चीज लाइफ में, तो मैं इसको कॉपी करूंगा. तो अगर मान लो किसी को कर्मा सर्कल्स कॉपी करना है, तो there are couple of companies which are trying to do similar things, and they have come to me for advice. The only thing I tell them is इसको ऐसे कॉपी कर लो, दिमाग मत लगाना तुम. जहां दिमाग लगा दिया इसका तो बेड़ा गर्क कर दो प्रोडक्ट, फिर चलेगा नहीं, फिर तो मुझे ला दो. और मैं बता देता हूं, these are the frameworks that we use. This is what you should be doing. Copy it as is, बिना दिमाग लगाए. That is exactly what Bill Gates did. Steve Jobs showed him, देख यार, देख हम ऐसा ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम बना रहे हैं, ऐसे चलेगा. Bill Gates figured that in 1 minute. That was his genius. He figured that in 1 minute. IBM के पास गया जब Bill Gates, उसने बोला हम ऐसा कुछ बनाएंगे. There were probably like 50 people in the room at that time. They didn't see that genius. But Bill Gates saw that. So that is what he was good at. He was not good at copying. It was not that an idea story. It was like, the difference is, so if you think of it, there will be some people who will say, यार एडम ग्रांट की जो बुक है ना, गिव एंड टेक, उससे कर्मा सर्कल्स इंस्पायर्ड है, और इसने ना उसको आइडिया कॉपी कर लिया. Even though I had not read the book when I had conceived the idea. Okay? But the genius is that जैसे जैसे एडम ग्रांट सोच रहा है, वैसे वैसे मेरे प्रोडक्ट में फीचर्स हैं. एंड इंटरेस्टिंगली जो पेपर उसने अभी लिखा है, हमारे वो फीचर्स वो पिछले 1 साल से हैं. But there will be some people who will say that we stole his idea by reading his book, क्योंकि उसकी बुक पहले आई थी. So I don't think that ideas get stolen. In fact, ideas get stolen is a myth. The fact that you actually tell your idea in details to everybody helps you more. There are people who will actually be your cynics. So 3 तरह के लोग होंगे. या तो वो कहेंगे यार ये आइडिया बहुत ही घटिया है. They will be your cynics. उसके अंदर what you have to learn, अपने आइडिया को further refine कैसे करना. Then there will be other idea people who will be like, I can connect you with the people who can help you build this idea. And then there will be people who will want to work with you on that idea. And then there will be people who will help you refine your idea. I think that population is around 6 billion, जो इन 4 कैटेगरीज में आती है, और जो चोरी वाले हैं आई थिंक वो 6 या 7 लोग हैं वर्ल्ड में. तो अगर आप बिल्कुल ही अनलकी हो और आपका आइडिया वाकई में 2 मिनट का है, तो it's like sorry for you.
But the difference between first and fourth, कि बेकार idea है, they also help in refining idea. In the fourth category, you tell they also help in refining idea. But
first is like they are just cynics. They are like haters. They are not improving. They are finding faults. वो गलतियां निकाल रहे हैं, improve करना नहीं बता रहे. The last category is people who will help you improve. I think. So I would encourage you all to apply for the venture, and if you want and if you make it to the finals, happy to work with you as well on your ideas, and you can reach out to me via Karma Circles app.
Thank you. I'm sure Sir guidance and mentoring help you a lot. So in case you have any question related to the venture, please reach out to us. We will happy to help you for the application process and what all are the formalities you have to fill for the venture. Thank you so much.
our guests. Mr. Deepak Goyal.
Thank you very much.
Ms. Sakshi. Mr. Amit. Mr. Abhishek.
Guys, there is a half event. Sakshi, can you please brief,
Hello everyone, I am the marketing manager at Karma Circles. I am leading a program called Karma Circles Leadership Program, wherein I take students, 2 students from each college after the interviewing process, and then we guide through the sales, product management, entrepreneurship, and how you have to proceed further in a startup. And in the same sense, we build a thing where you can utilize Karma Circles as a mentoring platform, and wherein you can find the right mentors for your guidance. So who wants to apply for the Karma Circles leadership program can mail their resume with the question why you wish to be a campus leader at sakshi@karmacircles.com. Thank you.
Yeah, snacks outside, we can, for the members of the cell, they have to come back after having the snacks, and rest of you can, and the speakers are requested to stay.
So once you go back today, please fill the form because 28th is the last date. Before that, fill the form and you can fill multiple entries as well. Multiple ideas, multiple entries as well.